Using IBM Case Manager client, an internal user logs into the solution. In this scenario, I'm a dispute advisor whose job it is to verify the data entered by the customer. We initially see the user's inbox, which contains any work items assigned to the user or their role. We can switch to the Cases tab, which allows you to search for cases. Here, a user can come in and search for a case at any time, which allows them to see the latest information in the case, the history of the case, and all the version documents that are part of the case. If we sort by date, we can see that a new case was just created. This happened automatically when the form in Part 1 was submitted. Clicking on the link will allow us to see case details. Here we can see a number of other things that happened automatically when the form was submitted and the case was created. The customer form was added to the case. If we click on it, we can view it within the read-only dialog. The attachments were added to the case. This is the receipt that was attached to the form. The signature was also added as an attachment. A second form was created and attached. A new task was created and started. And so far, the case properties have not been set. I will now close the case details page and switch to the work page. The work page contains my inbox. Here we can see a new work item was created when the customer submitted their form. Clicking the work item will open the work details page. This page contains a number of different widgets, including the case form widget and a toolbar. A form is being rendered automatically within this widget, and it is not read-only. This form is different than the other forms seen in Part 1, but it contains the same data. The job of the current user is to look at the information within the form and confirm there are no errors within it. Their status is tracked at the top of the form in the verified and certified fields. Verified must equal pass and certified must equal yes before they can complete the step within the task. If the user tries to complete the step before the form is verified and certified, they will get an error. At any time, the user can click Save, which will save the form but stay on the same workflow step. Here we see a validation error. This data is tied to the data on the transaction info page, and when we correct that data, this error will also get corrected automatically. There are more errors on this page. In Part 1 of the demo, I purposely misspelled the merchant name, and now these names are automatically being detected as errors. Clicking this button is going to analyze the form and display any errors. This is actually built using a sample form part, so this functionality could easily be added to other forms. Here we see the form contains 3 different errors. Clicking the button beside each error will bring you to the item causing the error. On this page, we see the merchant names I purposely misspelled. The dispute advisor can correct these errors by selecting a valid value from the dropdown. This will also correct the error on page 2 that I showed you previously. Now the errors are corrected, I will go back to the verification page and reevaluate the errors. The form is updated to show no errors exist and the verified field has changed from fail to pass. Now the dispute advisor needs to do an authorization check. They can click a link on the form which uses a web service to return the customer signature. This is then compared to the signature image created when the customer signed the form in Part 1. If these signatures did not look similar, the dispute advisor could reject the dispute or set a value to trigger a fraud investigation in the workflow. In this scenario, they match pretty closely. The dispute advisor can now check the Certify button. Now that the form shows verified equals pass and certified equals yes, the dispute advisor can now complete the step. Since the step has been completed, the user is brought back to their inbox. We see the previous task has been updated. The step name has changed, and the tasks now include both the credit card number and the merchant name. These are case properties that are automatically populated from the form we just completed. This shows that an IBM form can be used as a rich interface to easily collect information to be used within the case or task. Clicking the work item will open the next step that needs to be completed. This step does not show an IBM form and instead just uses the case data widget. If this was a real solution, not just a demo, the dispute advisor could use this data that has now been verified to investigate and resolve the dispute. Since this is just a demo, we can click the complete button to complete this step. We are returned back to the work page. Since this was the last step in the task, there are no new work items. This completes the demo.